To start the sweater trim, I decided that I wanted to have the seam of the sweater trim kind of sitting at the base of my neck, just kind of like a traditional sweater would be. You can start your sweater trim in any stitch along the edge you want. It doesn't matter at all. But I decided to do this just because it was personal preference. So the stitch marker that you see is approximately halfway between the two corners of the center square on one side. It really doesn't matter, again, but I'm kind of obsessed that way. So I'm going to start with a standing double crochet. If you've never done this before, make a slip knot. And then I'm going to take the stitch marker out before I start. To make a standing double crochet, you basically yarn over, hold the slip knot in place, but yarn over, hold that in place, insert your hook in the stitch where you want to start, and make a double crochet just like normal. And what you'll notice when you're finished, if the slip stitch is sitting, the slip knot is sitting right on top of that double crochet there. And it is a traditional double crochet. It's just not hooked to anything on the other side. Now you can start your round any way you want. You can attach the yarn there and do a stacked single crochet like you have throughout the pattern. You can attach your yarn and do a chain 2, chain 3 like you have throughout the rest of the sweater. It really doesn't matter how you start. But whatever you do, this first stitch will count as a double crochet. And all I'm going to do is double crochet in every stitch across to the corner. All right, I've reached the first corner space. Anytime I reach a corner space around the sweater edge, I'm going to work only one double crochet in that space. So I'll do that right now. And now I've reached the spot where I'm going to be working into the ends of rows, the ends of the rows of the side extensions. I like to find a pattern of working into those stitches so that I'm ensured of getting an even number of stitches across the ends of those rows. So if we take a look at the side of that stitch, you'll notice that there's a loop here. This one is kind of tight. And then the top of the stitch here, a loop, the top of the stitch here, a loop, so on and so forth. And by doing that, it makes the stitches evenly spaced across the ends of those rows, and it makes sure that I work 2 in the end of each row. So let me show you how I do that. So first one, I'm going to work into that loop, insert my hook, draw up a loop, and then finish my double crochet. To do the second one, I'm going to work one into that top. It's kind of a hole. That's okay. And I finished that double crochet. So that's 2 in the end of that row. To do 2 in the end of the next row, you'll see there's my loop. So I'm going to insert my hook underneath those 2 loops, like so. And the second one in the end of that row is going to kind of go in that hole right there. I'll do one more just so you can see how I worked that. So there's the loop. I'm going to insert my hook underneath that loop. And then for the second one in that row, I've got a hole ready made for me at the top of the stitch. All right, so I'm going to repeat that all the way across the side extensions. I'm working 2 double crochets in each row end until I reach the next chain space where I put 1 double crochet. At that point, I'll be working again across the bottom of the square, which is just working into the tops of the stitches. And the last piece of round 1 of the sweater trim is working again along the row ends, 2 in each row end. Now, it's not terribly important how many stitches you have in this foundation round. You just need to make sure that you have an even number of stitches, because the next round you're going to be working alternating front and back post double crochets, just like you did for the sleeves. So you have to have an even number of stitches, otherwise that seam is going to look weird because you'll have 2 front posts or 2 back posts together. Just make sure that you count those at the end. Now, if you hate counting over 200 or 300 stitches around, I get it. So what I like to do is take a stitch marker and just place it at regular intervals as I'm working this double crochet round. And then when I'm finished with it, with the round, I count all of the stitches in between and the stitches that are in, that the stitch markers are in, add all of those up, and it should be an even number. If it isn't, somewhere you need to adjust, add a stitch, take a stitch out, something like that, so that you have an even number of stitches for this round. When you get to the end of this round, you're simply going to join with a slip stitch to that very first stitch, to the top of that, to start round 2. So I'm going to finish my round 1, and I will show you how to start round 2. So I've reached the end of round 1 of the sweater trim, and I'm ready to begin round 2. So the first thing I do is chain 1, and then front post double crochet around the same stitch where that join is. Then around the next stitch, back post double crochet. So I'm going to go in around the back, pull that up, and complete the stitch. And basically round 2 is just alternating those 2 stitches all the way around. So front post and back post. So that's round 2. What I will do is finish my round 2, meet you back at the start, join, and show you how to work round 3. All right, I've joined at the end of round 2 with a slip stitch to the top of that first front post double crochet to end the round. Round 3 simply starts the same way that round 2 did. So we're going to chain 1, front post double crochet around that front post below, and the next stitch is a back post. So we're going to back post double crochet around that. And round 3 is simply alternating front post, back post, all the way around. When you get to the end of round 3, just make sure you end with that same back post double crochet that you did in round 2, and join with a slip stitch to that very first stitch. And when you're finished with round 3, you're actually finished with your sweater. So weave in all of those ends and put on your cardigan and have a wonderful time wearing it.